When I became chief, I discovered that amongst my other duties, as opposed to being just the Chief Justice of Pakistan, was also to be the the chairman of the board of the Federal Judicial Academy. It's a very high-powered board. I'm the Chief Justice is the chairman, the Minister for Law is the vice chairman, and the Attorney General is a member. The Chief Justices of the provinces and Islamabad are also members. The Secretary, Ministry of Law is a member, and the Director General of the Federal Judicial Academy. Immediately upon assuming my position as Chief Justice on the 25th of September 2023, one of the very first acts I did was to call a meeting of the Board of Governors, which has not been held for a considerable period of time. And the first two duties that I had to perform was, the first one was to select a Director General of the Federal Judicial Academy. I interviewed 4 candidates, and tirelessly-shah Sahab was selected as the Director General of this academy. The other task, knowing that the Federal Judicial Academy needs constant involvement if you want to make it a success, I read the statute carefully and discovered Section 8, which enabled the appointment of an expert advisor, and to ensure that the Federal Judicial Academy does not only deliver, but I am constantly kept in touch with it. I suggested the name of one of our own, Justice Syed Mansoor-Ali-Shah, as the expert advisor under Section 8 of the statute, and he was unanimously approved by the board. And in addition to his duties, he performs this function as expert advisor pro bono basis. There's no additional emoluments. It is a labor of love, and I believe that he has delivered in a very short period of time. It's not quite, it's just a little over 3 months, and you can see the changes that he has brought about. I have given him virtually a carte blanche. With my other duties, I have sometimes told him, you just do it, I'll sign it, not to worry. So we are working on very closely. He is performing wonderfully, and I wish him continuous success, because in the success of this academy lies the success of all of us as an institution to deliver justice throughout Pakistan. Every province has, I believe, a provincial judicial, but this is the Federal Judicial Academy, which, as rightly pointed out by Justice Shah, brings about cohesiveness, connectivity, and communication most of all. I am very pleased to know that for the very first time, the court staff, we don't quite give them the importance that they deserve, and we don't quite acknowledge the work they do. Without court staff, an efficient court staff, a judge may flounder. So the 48,000 court staff that were hitherto before ignored now have come on to the radar of the Federal Judicial Academy, and I would suggest to the Chief Justices of the provinces and the Islamabad Capital Territory as well to ensure that they also receive the requisite training in their academies, and they can maybe copy what has been done at the Federal Judicial Academy and add to it with regard to their own particular requirements. Then we have 3,200 judges throughout Pakistan in the district judiciary, of which a sizable number, I'm happy to note, 500 are ladies, and they also require training from time to time. There is training at the provincial level, but the federal level training not only brings everyone together, brings Pakistan together, unifies the country, unifies the judiciary, but they also share valuable experiences with each other. There are variations, some local things which are not quite known even within the province. For instance, a district office judge or a judge in Karachi would not know anything about a preemption suit. So there are many things which even within the province you don't know, each other's provinces you don't know. So it's a good place to share ideas, to bring everyone together. Justice Mansoor-Ali-Shah has made certain suggestions that the Honorable Chief Justices of the provinces in Islamabad Capital Territory may follow, and I, as chairman of the Federal Judicial Academy, will certainly propose this in a meeting in which all the Chief Justices are members, and I'm sure that they will want to assist, if I can speak on their behalf, in ensuring what the Federal Judicial Academy determines, in particular the manner of nominations. I'm pleased to note that it's merit-based, and that how the Federal Judicial Academy don't want to, since the details have already been mentioned, I don't want to repeat those, and it will bring about necessary consistency. It will enhance public confidence. After all, the first place of interaction of a litigant is not with the High Court or with the Supreme Court. It is with the civil judge, with the judicial magistrate. And we want to make them to raise their status to a position where further appeals stop. If the quality of justice administered at the first tier is such that it is found not only acceptable, but peers and superiors consider the decision, then it reduces the burden on other courts higher up in the hierarchy. And this concept that has developed in the country of taking virtually every matter right up to the Supreme Court before one is satisfied must come to an end if we want the system to survive. We must also ensure that the frivolous kind of litigation or no consequence litigation, what do I have to lose to go to the Supreme Court? At the worst, my case will be dismissed. That should also be repelled, and costs, and where necessary, substantial costs should be imposed to discourage this kind of litigation where you think you do have nothing to lose. A tenant may say, okay, fine, I'll continue staying in the premises for another 20 years. Eventually, I will be told by the Supreme Court to leave the premises, but I still gain 20 years. Similarly, I'll continue breaching the contract I entered into. At the end, okay, what happens? The only way to stem this kind of frivolous litigation is the imposition of costs. Of course, these have to be done in a way which is uniform amongst all. It should not be too much of a variant. One judge does it, another judge doesn't do it, another judge imposes very heavy costs, and such and so forth. The structure of the Constitution that is set out, it is the high courts which are the supervisors of the subordinate courts under Article 203, and the decisions of the high courts are binding on all subordinate courts under Article 201. The similar provision that enables the decisions of the Supreme Court binding on all other courts is Article 189 of the Constitution. I am very happy to see that technology is being used. Technology has also been used, now is being used in the Supreme Court, in that the first case as Chief Justice that I presided over was the Supreme Court Practice and Procedure Act case. It's to determine its constitutionality, and that was broadcast live throughout Pakistan. When certain cases of public importance are broadcast live, it also is an educational tool. Judges learn, lawyers learn, litigants learn, they understand what is the dispute about, and I hope that confidence is established in the common citizen that he is seeing justice being done.